Välkomna publiken, välkomna webb-tv-tittarna. Ni som har varit med oss här från tidig morgon har betat av allt från däckåtervinning, telekom, facility management, men det kanske är någonting ni saknar och det är frukt- och bär- och blombranschen. Välkommen Edi, du ska prata om hur man konserverar till exempel blommor. Please welcome.
Thank you. Hey, welcome to listen my presentation about Optifreeze. I'm going to talk in English and I hope that's fine. So, in short, Optifreeze has developed a technology that provides the solution for food and plant industry with our innovative technology and breakthrough methods. Here in these pictures you see mandevilla plants. On the on your left side the treated products, and on the right side it's the control. These products were stored in the fridge for 14 days, and you can see how the treated products looks. They preserve the freshness, while the control gets old and gets rotten. So it's not possible to plant these the control anymore. So Optifreeze is focusing on this right now. I would like to talk about the benefits in general. Our technology can increase the quality of products. Either they are frozen or they are kept in fresh in the fridge. And we can prolong the shelf life of products. And also now we are working with flower cuttings that we can improve the growing performance. So we also work with dried products where we can speed up the drying. And in connection with speed up drying, we can preserve aroma, color, and taste of products much better than the commercial available products. And in general, we can reduce the waste, and we can save energy, time, and goods. So here you see some pictures. This is the spinach that both of them has been frozen and thawed. Here you see the control and the treated one. The treated one, even after freezing and thawing, can preserve the freshness and it preserves the structure, so you can use this treated spinach in your salads. And there you see dried herbs, they are basil, and when we apply our technology before drying, we can reduce the drying time, so in this way we can preserve the color and we can preserve aroma much better than commercially available products. And I would like to talk about our process, the basic principles. What are we doing in this technology? We have two steps. The first step is vacuum infusion. Here in this picture you see a cross-section of a plant material under microscope. And the green parts are the cells. So in between cells you see dark spots. They are air pockets on the plant tissue. So with vacuum infusion, what we do, we expose the plant materials into a vacuum pressure where we take out this air and we can infuse the desired solution into the porous structure of plant materials. And what we are introducing natural plant substances. So in these pictures you can see how the extracellular parts are filled with the desired solution. This is the first step. And on the second step, we expose the plant materials to a high voltage short pulses that is called pulsed electric field. And with pulsed electric field, we can create pores on the cell membrane, which allows the solution that has been introduced previously to go inside the cells. And we apply such parameters that makes it possible to cells reseal themselves. So the cells now keep the solution inside and outside, and they reseal themselves and the treatment is done. So we can introduce any substances inside the cells of plant materials with this combined technology. And talking about the Optifreeze background, the company was founded in 2011 by the scientists at Lund University and Lund Innovation, also a company called Arcoroma Pure in Lund. So the company is based on a research that is started in 2007, and we got our first patent in 2013 on method for conservation of plant material. Optifreeze was listed on Spotlight in 2014, and at the moment we have around 2,800 shareholders, and the market value is 200 to 250 million Swedish kron. We are located in Lund. And here you can see our board members. We have a quite wide range of different competences in our board, including the original inventors, professors, and also people who have long industry in food technology and in management levels. So the main shareholders, Arkoroma is one of the main shareholders. They have 15%, and Professor Peter Dimek, Puyi Pun, Associate Professor Federico Gomez, Katarzyna Dimek, they are the founders, and they are still keeping their shares. So what we are offering to our customers? We are offering our know-how and the technology that is specific and unique for each product that is going to be treated with our technology. We offer a customized process line that is called Opticept. We also offer a premixed additives that is unique to each product that is called OptiCap. So how do we plan to earn money? On sales of customized process lines, the machines, and the list price for our machine is between 3 to 4 million Swedish kron. And we will also earn money from sales of customized additive bags. Also, we will get the royalty income per treated product. And we have a patent family. The first one was granted in 2013, and the second one was about shelf life extension of plant materials without freezing this time. And this was applied in 2015. And then we have applied a method involving PEF treatment on drying that was filed in 2016. And these applications are pending. And at the moment we are working on two new applications. One of them is on PEF chamber, that we have a unique PEF chamber that can treat uniformly different kinds of products. And the other application will be about flower cuttings, how to extend the shelf life of flower cuttings. So in Optifreeze we have 4 different application areas. And here you can see our focus as well. We are focusing at the moment Optiflower, where the Optiflower market size is around 250 billion euros. And we can provide the solutions for flower cuttings that are called stickling in Swedish. And our status in Optiflower is that we made our first sales of Opticept line on this application. And the second focus is on OptiDry, where we can provide solutions for the drying industry, for herbs, for vegetables, or for fruits. And our status in this application area is that we have made customer tests and with our pilot system, and now we are discussing the future. In Optifresh and Optifreeze, we have done customer tests, but in these 2 applications, we are not as far as the Optiflower and OptiDry. So we have a pilot plant in Lund that these systems that can process up to 3.5 tons per hour. Here you can see the vacuum infusion system, and on the other side you can see pulse electric field system. But as I said, we are focusing on Optiflower now, so I would like to talk a little bit more on Optiflower market. So how does it look like for flower cuttings? They are often harvested in farms in South America or Africa or Far East Asia. And these cuttings, they are shipped to US, to Europe, or to China for planting, to become real plants. And what is the problem with cuttings? So cutting is a plant material that is used in vegetative horticulture purposes. And the problem is that they have very short shelf life or short lifetime. Once they are harvested in Africa or South America, they have often 4 to 5 days of shelf life to be transported in Europe or US to be planted in the soil. And there are loss during and after transportation. So this is the problem for cutting industry. And our solution is that we can extend the lifetime by applying our technology up to 2 weeks, or depending on the product, the lifetime is changing. Then our technology can also provide better and faster routing, and the products that are treated with Optifreeze method performs better growing and then better appearance at the end on the flowers. Here is an example that we are working at the moment, our Granthemum. So these products, this one is treated and the control is not treated at all. And they were stored in the fridge for 14 days. So once the flowers are harvested in the farms, they are shipped to Europe. And this is the moment where the customers or greenhouse owners are buying the product to plant in soil. So you can see how treated looks good and fresh and promising for growing, while the control looks already old and it doesn't give any promise to grow and root. So a greenhouse owner can reject this kind of products because it's not promising to grow. Another example that we are working now with Mandevilla. Mandevilla, this one was treated with our technology. The control is not treated. So they were stored in the fridge for 11 days. And then they were planted in the soil. You can see how good the treated plants are growing, while the control is getting rotten and looking bad after they don't perform good growing. And the market size, now we are talking about only flower cuttings, not any other kind of plant cuttings. So the size of the market is 250 billion euros. And per year, 2.5 billion flower cuttings are sold each year all around the world. And there are 5 big market players in this segment. Most of them are from the Netherlands. And our current customer is one of the biggest 5 players. They are one of the leading breeding and plant supplier in the world. And we try to estimate how much one machine is going to generate in sales margin to Optifreeze in Optiflower segment. So once we sell OptiCept system, we get a payment for that. And we also sell OptiCap, that are the additives used during the treatment. And we also get royalty income for each treated product, because the product's value, once you are treating, it's increasing. So this increased value is supposed to be shared with our customer, with us, over the years. And this is a projection for 5 years, how much one machine will generate in accumulated in total. It's going to be 7.5 to 15 Swedish million kron per machine. We try to make the same estimation for OptiDry. Since we have potential customers in this segment, we know now much more about the figures. Here we only use pulse electric field. That's why we have only OptiCept. We don't have additives in this segment. And we have a royalty income for treated product per kilo. And the accumulated amount over 5 years is 3 to 4 million Swedish kron per machine. So for Optifresh and Optifreeze segment, we are not that far yet as we are in Optiflower and OptiDry. This work is in process, and I think we will come there soon with much better figures here. So looking ahead, Our estimation is that we will reach the break-even results in 2020. And our estimation is that we are going to sell 10 systems within 3 years in Optiflower segment. And during the years, we plan to explore new application areas for our technology. Since we have started with an idea of freezing, but we have come to different segments where we can apply the same technology on many different products. So we know that there is a potential of our technology which can be used in cut flowers, flowers that we use at home on our tables. And the same technology perhaps can be used in fruit and vegetable cuttings as well. Many plants has cuttings, like strawberries have cuttings, or other kind of vegetable have cuttings. So we believe that our technology can be applicable on other plant materials as well. And we are estimating sales on Optidry and Optifreeze. And also new application areas are likely to be found with our unique technology. So
I'll bring this. Thank you so much.
I was fast, no?
Yeah, you were fast. That's good. You're supposed to work fast. I was thinking about, thank you so much for your presentation. You just received, or in September, you received your first order for the Optiflower. That was your first order, right?
Yeah.
I didn't read anything about how big is this order, and can you tell us anything more about this?
So we have one customer on this segment that, well, we are in contact with all the players, but the first order
Let's
came
start
from
with the first one, that is
exactly.
concrete. Yes.
And it's going to be delivered in January.
Okay.
And it's going to be installed in one of the farms of our customer.
Can you say anything about the size of it, or
the size, the system can treat
in money, not in flowers?
Yeah. So we haven't announced how much we sold the system, but it's in line with what I presented before, the price, the list price.
Okay.
And it's a full-scale system that I can say.
Okay. So do you foresee, what is your prognosis for the number of clients that will be signed for Optiflower within like a year or so?
So our customer have many farms all around the world, and we for sure know one system will be required each farm, but perhaps more systems is going to be required per farm, because as I said, the cutting industry is huge, and huge amounts of cuttings are sold every year. And but our aim is to reach all the big players in the market and cover. We want to make our technology a standard treatment system in the flower industry. That at the moment in the flower industry there is no treatment system, and this is obviously a big problem, because once we reach the customers, they have shown an immediate response, an immediate reaction to our technology. And we understood that our customers has been struggling with this problem for many years.
Yeah, absolutely. I have friends in the business, so I know that this is a very big problem. You announced, you communicated to the market that you expect positive cash flow already year 2020. How much revenue is required to obtain this goal? So,
well, our estimation is to sell 10 systems within 3 years.
So Opticept system.
Opticept system.
Yeah, so it's a business line.
Yeah. And we estimate that in 2020 we will reach the positive cash flow. That is in line with our estimations.
So these 10 business lines sold will give you the positive cash flow in less than 2 years.
Yeah. I mean, the estimation is within 3 years, but but already we estimate that we will get the positive cash flow in 2020.
I see. Would you need to raise more money from the market until then, or how do you finance your business until you start?
Yes, we have in our reports, it's we will need to raise more capital, but we presume that it will be perhaps the last emission before we reach the positive cash flow.
Okay. You're talking a lot about the flowers or the cuttings, or as we say in Sweden, the sticklings. But you also have other business areas, Optifreeze and Optidry. Can you say anything about when will you start commercializing also these areas?
I think Optidry
Which will be the first?
Yeah, Optidry will be the first, I think, because that's very interesting, and we can reduce the drying time for many different products from 20 to 50%.
And now we're talking like herbs
or vegetables like carrots that are going to be used in dried soups, or asparagus, or also now we start doing tests with the fruits as well.
Okay.
So it's I think the benefit of reduction in drying time is huge for our customers, that they are going to save a lot of energy and money, or they can increase their capacity by just applying our system. So they don't need to buy a new dryer in their facility.
So what do they do with you then? If they don't need to buy a new dryer, what do they do?
Because this drying time will be shortened if you apply our technology, so they can increase their capacity in the dryer by applying PEF technology.
But what exactly is your technology then, if they can use their old dryer? So what are you selling to them?
We are selling a treatment system that is going to be used before drying.
Yes.
That will improve the quality of products, and also it will reduce the drying time during the drying.
Okay. And you all, in this summer, you signed a letter of intent for this. Can you tell us something about this?
Yeah, we have signed a letter of intent with one of the largest distributors of dried herbs in Europe.
Okay.
And we are working with one of their suppliers in Europe. So there are 3 parties involved in this project, and this project is ongoing right now.
I don't know if I listened well enough, but I was surprised. I didn't hear you say sustainability when you did your presentation. But is this area, all the debate about the sustainability, is that something that affects your business in any way?
Absolutely, because I think the overall benefit of our technology is actually reducing the waste of food or reducing the waste of flour products, which helps the sustainability incredibly much. And this is one of the biggest problem in the world right now. The food waste in Europe is reached 30% by now. So it's a lot of waste in retailers, it's a lot of waste at home, a lot of waste in food service. So I think our technology helps companies to keep their sustainability promises.
Okay. So let's pretend that I'm a customer and you're the salesperson. What's your pitch then to me if let's say I'm in the fruit business or something? How do you pitch?
Yeah, I would say do you want to extend the lifetime of fruits, vegetables by applying our technology that will save your products to be wasted and expand your business?
Okay, and let's say I'm having a bad day. I say, why would I like to do that? Why would I like to extend the lifetime? So what is your?
I would say you have a loss already in your supply chain, and you need to save the loss, and you need to increase your revenue by saving.
But I think your technology must be very expensive. How do I know that this is a good business for me? I mean, hey, I'm used to. I'm throwing away some of the vegetables and the fruits, but I've done that all the time. Why should I invest in such a expensive technology?
The technology, I would say, it's not expensive because the most of the processing equipments in food industry is much more expensive than our system, and the return of investment is not going to be as high as you expected.
Okay, so how much is the cost? What's the price for this technology?
The list price to apply. The list price for our full system is between 3 to 4 million Swedish kron, but it also very much depends what kind of products you are going to treat and what is your capacity, because we can make customized process lines.
So what would you say is the biggest competitor for your business? Is it the traditional, the old way of thinking, or is it other techniques?
But our technique is quite unique, and it's an innovative technique, and there is no direct competitors to our technique in all these different application segments. But I can say that for especially Optifreeze, that's the conservative food industry.
Okay. So how do you go on with that? I mean, how do you...
One of the reasons why we focus on flowers are much more easy, is because there is not much regulations around the flowers. That's
Okay.
not something that we consume. And obviously in flower industry, this is not something good to have. This is needed, definitely. So therefore, we see a clear path for Optifreeze to focus on Optiflower right now to reach the break-even results and then focus on other application areas as well.
Do you foresee any milestones such as regulatory changes or anything like that that could have impact on your ability to sell to the flower market, market?
To flower market?
Yeah, for the cuttings.
There will be no problem in flower market, but in fruits and vegetables, we are also trying to understand the regulations, what applies to us. And we also do analysis of our products after treatment to see how the nutritional values are changing. And we have got positive results actually on behalf of Optifreeze, and we are discussing the results with Livsmedelsverket right now.
Okay. And Eda, could you please tell me a little bit about your background? I understand that you have your roots in the academic world.
Yeah.
But how did you end up here?
Yeah, I'm coming from Turkey. I came to Sweden to study, and I did my master thesis on this project with spinach.
Okay, in which?
In Lund University, Livsmedelsteknik.
Livsmedelsteknik, okay.
And then I was the first employee at Optifreeze, working with the method. But
So are you the founder or?
I'm not the founder, but I was there almost the beginning. I'm not one of the founder. But I know the technology very well in the roots. So I'm working at Optifreeze now for 4.5 years. And since the beginning of 2018, I become the managing director. And now I'm leading my team. So that's my background. I'm still doing my PhD at Livsmedelsteknik.
Okay. Do you have enough time for this both big challenges?
Not as much as I thought. I don't have so much time, but I try to keep the timeline.
Okay. So what are your biggest advantages for being a CEO? What's your...
I think the advantage for me is that I know what we can do exactly with our technology, and I know the basics. And since I've been there from the beginning, I got to know all the customers that is involved in the business, and I think that the advantage of having me as a managing director is that I've been involved in all the projects and all both scientific and customer-related discussions.
Okay. So what is your main challenge right now? What's the most concrete thing that you have to work on right now?
I think we have to make Optiflower project a success. We need to expand our business from that direction, and then we at the same time we also need to focus on our OptiDrive project and continue the other projects in coming years.
Okay. So were there any questions from the... Yes, please. Oh, yeah. I think this is a company that just recently started to...
Yeah.
So, but could you please, the question is, what's the turnover and what's the result? The turnover is not very much.
No, we are in minus now. So maybe I should have shown in my presentation. You're right, but it's we have some earnings this year. That is a good sign now that we are doing customer tests. We get the customers are financing the tests, and we are getting from our flower customer. We get monthly payment for the development work carried in Optifreeze, and also we sold our first systems with. So we have some income now.
But the actual
but it's-
delivery didn't start yet, right?
No.
Okay. So that was was that question good enough? Yeah. Any more questions? Yes, please.
Mm.
So the question. So the question was regarding the market. You said that there are 5 big players in the flower market, and one of them is will be your client within shortly. How are you targeting also the other 4 big players? Let's start with that question.
Yes, we are in contact with the other 4 players as well, and we are targeting them as well. So as I said during my presentation, our aim is to make this technology a standard technology in all flower industry.
And the last question, it will be very short because we're running out of time here. These 5 players, how much of the market are they representing?
They are almost 100%, almost.
Okay, so no place for.
Well, there are small players, but the 5 of them are really major players.
Okay. Okay, so what's that answer for your questions? So thank you so much. If you need to talk anything more, I think Eda will be out there in the hall. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.